Raptors Digest. What's up? Welcome back. We got a game in Phoenix right now. Raptors, Suns. Welcome, everyone. Appreciate everyone attending and looking forward to this. You can see I got my Cool Bet sponsored play of the day. Pascal Siakam over 5.5 assists. Scotty Barnes over 15.5 points. And Gary Trent Jr. 3+ three-pointers. Scotty Barnes' first shot of the game and the Raptors' first shot of the game ends up being an air ball. Rough start, but Fred VanVleet fouled. He's going to be going to the free throw line. So what's up, everyone? Happy to be on stream. Okay, Dante already coming with some heat. He's saying, Josh, you should see House of the Dragon if you like Game of Thrones. I need to rewatch House of the Dragon. You know what the issue was? I watched it before I watched Game of Thrones, and I was like, this show kind of sucks. But I think it's because I didn't understand the whole Game of the Thrones kind of like fandom. And then I went back and watched Game of Thrones, and now I'm like, oh my God, I want more. So I definitely probably will go back and watch House of the Dragon. But I tried it without watching Game of Thrones. It didn't hit the same. I think it'll hit a lot harder now that I've seen Game of Thrones and love it. All right, Chris Paul with the ball. Gets it over there to Ayton. Missing, I think that was blocked by Barnes. Good defense there. Raptors down by 2. Fred VanVleet with it. Dante's also telling me to check out Avatar 2 because it's directed by Canadian James Cameron. I'll show love to the fellow Canadian. Oh, another air ball by Trent Jr. What is up right now? A couple air balls to start the game for the Raptors. It's not what you want. Chris Paul for 3. Missing that. Rebound for Torrey Craig. Good press there by Gary. I mean, you guys already know this road trip is kind of going to determine what we do with the season. Oh, great steal by Scotty Barnes. Deflects the ball in the lane, but then turns it over, unfortunately. But that's okay. Mikal Bridges throws it off the back of the backboard, so it's going to be Raptors ball. I like the defensive hustle from Scotty, even though he nearly turned it over there in transition. Scotty's been coming on, man. He's been coming on. Adventures with Smile saying, hello, almost pinged you on Discord, but didn't want to bother you. Hoping you would go live. Hey, thank you. I am here. I'm hit and miss with Discord. Sometimes I'm on it a lot. Sometimes I'm not as much, but I'll try to keep a closer eye on it. So appreciate the interest. And hey, happy to say I'm here and I'm going to be streaming the whole game. So Achua just gets a field goal there, his first of the game. And then Ayton responds with a hook shot. 6-4, Raps down by 2. But Precious Achua, he's been a really great addition back to the lineup. Oh, man, the Raps turn it over. The other way, Mikal Bridges, and 1. On the topic of Mikal Bridges, I got to say, it's super impressive that this guy has played every game consecutively since college. The guy's an Iron Man. Really rare in today's NBA. Tristan making a good point. Why is Scotty passing? Just go up on Chris. Yeah, you got that size advantage in the fast break. Like, go ahead and dunk it on Chris Paul, please. But yeah, kind of a poor decision there from Scotty. He's still learning. He's still developing. But that was definitely a mistake on that fast break. Fred wanted the foul, doesn't get the call. It's a missed shot. All right, Suns taking it back the other way. CP3 driving to his right, kicking out. Torrey Craig's going to take a 3. Missing. Gary Trent Jr. Okay, there you go. I got okay, no. I don't have Gary Trent rebounds. That's a different bet that I have. Disregard. But he did get that rebound, and Scotty Barnes gets it poked away by Cam Johnson. I don't want to make this whole night about gassing up the opposing players, but Cam Johnson's awesome. I really love his game. Ayton leaves that short. It's out of bounds off the Raptors, but lucky to not give up a basket there. Lord 2 Senpai asking, OG or Mikal Bridges? It's close, but I'm going to go with OG. Dante asking Josh, would you rather have us? Part of the comments cut off. Let me see. Um, Dante's asking Josh, would you rather us have Wembenyama or lose first round of the playoffs? Dante, come on. I think I know what every Raptors fan would want here, and it's to get swept in the first round. No, it is 110% to get Victor Wembanyama. As much as I'd like to make the playoffs and show that this group is competitive, um, I'm going to take Wembanyama over a first round exit any single day of the week. If anyone differs, definitely put it in the chat. I'm curious to hear why, but I mean, Wembanyama is the lottery of all lotteries. People saying he's the best prospect we've seen since LeBron James, which I know that could be thrown around a lot. I'm sure people said some stuff about Cade. I'm sure people said stuff about, all the first overalls that have happened. But Wembanyama's legit, man. He's insane. We haven't seen something like this in a long time. Oh my God, Adventures with Smiles hitting me with the Habs Digest comments. Come on now. Come on. I don't deserve that. I don't deserve that. Mikhail Bridges gets another bucket. 11-6, Raps are down. Hey, Magnetic in the chat. How's it going, Magnetic Knowledge? I think Trent Jr. just got a bucket. I missed it because I was checking out chat. Yeah, Michael pointing out that Scotty already has 3 turnovers, so not an ideal start for him. He's been good about not turning over the ball over as much as well. I mean, this is kind of an outlier. Oh man, Mikhail Bridges with another 3. And then a timeout called by Nick Nurse. Pretty good timeout. Like, why is Mikhail Bridges going nuclear here in the first few minutes of the game? Now, I know. Okay, Adventures with Smiles. I got to explain myself. So, when I was on the Leafs Digest, I made some comment about the Habs being a pretty good team and that I was worried about the Leafs in the Atlantic just with the rise in competition and them not proving themselves. And people were all like, oh, Goody's a Habs fan. Goody's a closet Habs fan. And I was like, no, I'm not. I'm not. And people just kept clowning me for it. And like, oh, okay, Goody, like go over to the Habs Digest. So I thought that's what you were saying. For the record, I'm still a Leafs fan. They're doing great this season. Is this the year? Maybe. Plan the parade. Lord 2 Senpai saying Scotty Bullway versus Chris State Farm. Yeah, the Chris Paul State Farm ads are goated, but Scotty Barnes is in every single piece of Raptors related advertising you could imagine. This man's like, I'm only cleared to make a certain amount of money as a second year player. That's all right. I'll take every sponsorship offered my way. Every single one. Okay, Gurman giving me an update here. He says, my stats for last game were 10 points, 10 rebounds, and 2 assists with 1 block and a 55-48 loss. Sorry, Josh, I didn't achieve your 21-1. I told Gurman to go give me a Gary Trent Jr. stat line. I said, crank up the scoring, turn down the assists, turn down the rebounding. You're out there to get buckets. He played an amazing game regardless. But you know what, Gurman? My next assignment to you, I feel like Kobe giving assignments out to players. I don't know if you guys remember how he did that with Giannis, how he did that with a bunch of different guys. But my next assignment, I don't care what the stat line is. Give me a win. The past few games you've reported back to me, you've played really good. It's been a loss, which is totally fine. But you could put up 1 point, 0 rebounds, 0 assists. Just come back to the chat next time with a W under your belt, and that's mission accomplished. No disrespect, but collective success over individual success. I need a dub. Gurman saying you got a double T. Man, what'd you do? Who are you pissing off out there? Still a real one saying hardcore Leafs fans are a different bunch. It's a damaged community, bro, and I'm part of it. It is a damaged community. Had our hopes up one too many times, but yeah, they're hardcore. The definitely the most diehard fan base in the NHL. Oh, there we go. A 3-pointer there by Fred Van Vliet, knocking it down. Aiton with it. Handed off to Bridges. He's been hot. Gives it right back to Aiton, and then blocked by Barnes from the weak side. That's money. There we go. Raptors ball. Hey, Germán, look. As much as I want to give you like stat lines to post up, the next challenge is a W. Even if it's the team that's struggling, the next challenge is a W. However you get there, doesn't matter. Just come back with a W. Fred misses the three, and then okay, former Raptor getting the bucket. Ishmael Wainwright. He's been getting like good minutes with the Suns. They didn't just pick him up as a depth piece. Like he plays. He's a rotation player. Oh, Pascal with the floater. Mikal Bridges pulling up, getting it to Aiton, who gets the alley oop dunk. Hey, never forget that Chris Paul got DeAndre Ayton, or not DeAndre Ayton, DeAndre Jordan, first team All NBA one season. That man does wonders for his big men. All right, Siakam backing in there. Backing down Torrey Craig, taking the mid-range J, just missing. Offensive rebound, Achua threads it back in there to Siakam, battling for the ball. That's going to be a jump ball between Ishmael Wainwright and Siakam. FC saying we should have kept Wainwright in Utah. Man, I would have never pinned Yuta Watanabe as a mistake player to give up. Um, but honestly, it's not the biggest mistake in the world. But yeah, I think in hindsight, the Raptors at least would have wanted to keep Yuta Watanabe. And maybe to some degree, Ishmael Wainwright. Like he's been very good for the Suns. Okay, so the jump ball is won by Siakam, but out of bounds. So it's going to be Suns ball. 18-13, the Raps are down by 5. Okay, Germani's saying, Josh, I'm going to go out and get 20 points, 10 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 steals, 1 block, and bring a 10-point W. Most important part of that whole thing was the 10-point W. I love it. I love it. I'm waiting to hear back. Fred hits the mid-range. 15-18, Raps down by 3. Lord 2 Senpai, always saying the most. Aiden gets fouled, misses the shot. He's going to be shooting 2. Okay, and a good point here by Bejton. I'll say that. I'm not sure how to pronounce that, but he's saying Yuta is playing really well because he's beside KD and has done so well with KD out. Yeah, so good point. Even without KD in the lineup, like he's still doing well among role players, which is really interesting. Again, I don't think it's the biggest mistake in the world letting Yuta Watanabe go, but in hindsight, like he showed some development, is definitely a positive contributor on a winning team. So with the Raptors where they are, I think that you do regret that a little bit. Not a massive mistake. It's not like passing up on Desmond Bain or anything, but in hindsight, I think we would have kept Yuta Watanabe. He was definitely a fan favorite too. Magnetic Knowledge, seeming happy that Ishmael Wainwright's getting those minutes and doing well. You know, why not? He got cut from our team. Only want to hope the best for the guy. And hey, speaking about previous Raptors, Bismack Biombo checks into the game for the Suns. That 2016 playoff run. I'm telling you, that one sequence where you blocked LeBron and then got the run out dunk at the other end, that right there got him a huge contract. Boucher for 3, hits it. Dial it up. Bonjour. There we go. Raps down by 2. Tom Moreau popping into the chat. Tommy, how are you? Let me guess. You got a regulation, or no, a halftime tie bet and a regulation or end of regulation tie bet as well. Is that what's on the menu tonight? Let me know. Oh, Gary Trent Jr. and 1. There we go. He's going to the line for the 3-point play. Germán saying, Josh, what players do you think are unhappy in Toronto coming from the news today? So I haven't seen any reports. I've probably just missed something. I've had a busy work day. But if I were to speculate on who might be a little bit unhappy, I would guess Trent Jr., I would guess Van Vliet, and I would guess maybe OG. Those are the only 3 guys I could really see being that upset with their roles. And even then, I don't think it's anything crazy, but just, a little discontent. To be honest, some of it should be on their own accountability. They got to play better, but those were the only 3 guys I could really imagine saying that. But if you guys have a report, send it to me in the chat, and I'll pull it up at halftime, and we'll look through it together. Man, Pascal gets it stolen away. Bridges, the 3. Oh, my God. Why is he going nuclear right now? Hits another 3. Raps down by 7. Dropped off there to Thad Young in the high post. Back out to Van Vliet. Fred. Little mid-ranger. Doesn't go. Just over 2 minutes here in the first quarter. I got to say, I think the Suns could still do some damage. I know they've had their weird times of the season. Even now, dealing with injuries, no D-Book, but come playoff time, they're gonna rumble. I think the Suns are a legitimate threat. Definitely fall into the category of contender for me. Trent Jr. on the perimeter. Step back on Biyombo. Misses it. Okay, offensive rebound though. He's going to take another shot. There we go. Perfect. Hey, you guys see that bet there? I got Gary Trent Jr. over 3+ 3-pointers. So that's 1 to the tally. And it's a long night. Happy he got one here in the first quarter. Yeah, Mikhail's on fire. Cameron Payne, another former Raptor, misses a floater pretty badly there. Fred, in transition, the 3. Misses that. Rebound, Dario Saric. And then a full court pass there to Biyombo. Yeah, he's not going to score 1-on-2. Gets the ball back, though. Backing in on Fred. Good job by Van Vliet. The active hands poke it away. Biyombo turns over the ball, and the Raptors now have it back on offense. It's with Siakam. Ooh, Pascal connected on the 3. There we go. I have the assists bet, but hey, I'll take the 3-pointer. Raps down by 2. Oh, Saban Lee turns it right over there to Thad Young, who's bringing it the other way. Pops it out to Van Vliet. Fred driving. Pump fake, gets blocked. But Chris Boucher almost getting it to go. Okay, no, he's blocked. All right, he's blocked. He's fouled. He'll be shooting 2. Okay, Chris Boucher going to the line. Tom Moreau saying, I feel vindicated in saying weeks ago that Nick Nurse has lost the room. Okay, Tom, interesting question for you. So I think I subscribe to this belief a little bit, but even when a coach is doing a really great job, sometimes there's just a lifeline on how long they can stick around with a certain team. Of course, we've seen Spoelstra, we've seen Popovich, we've seen Kerr, we've seen guys kind of show that that's not always accurate, but for the most part, there's a big body of belief that says even with a great coach, sometimes there just needs to be change. Do you think that Nick Nurse is genuinely just underperforming for this team? Or do you think he's hit his expiration date with how many times these guys can hear his voice? Does that make sense? Let me know in the chat because I've heard that many times before. I think you look at a coach like Tom Thibodeau, right? Like he's been removed from a couple different environments, but he's a great coach. Is it just a matter of how many times that room has heard that coach's voice? Does it begin to fall on deaf ears, or is Nick Nurse genuinely just messing up? I tend to believe if he were to get removed, it's not because he's a bad coach. It's because this dressing room just needs a refreshing voice. German asking Josh, who you got winning, Chiefs or Eagles? I got my team, the Chiefs. I hate to say it, the Chiefs as well. I feel like that's kind of the common pick to go with, but genuinely, I think after Mahomes came back from that weird injury and played so well, like they got that championship experience too. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs. Eagles are a tough squad though. Who you guys picking in the Super Bowl? I'm curious. Dal is asking, the question is, who would we replace Nick Nurse with? And that's a great question. And right now, I don't know who. So unless Phil Jackson wants to come out of retirement and take the reins, I think that we're probably better off with Nick Nurse. Okay, Tom Moreau saying, I believe Nick Nurse has not put his players in a position to win. He has dispirited the bench, especially. So I feel like you're putting it more on his personal accountability than the collective. Maybe they're just tired of hearing his voice. So that's fair. That's fair. But I still think that he's the coach. I think he's the coach that we want to roll with. I'm not ready to write off Nick Nurse. I've thought about it long and hard. I'm continuing to think on it, but I think that ultimately Nick Nurse is going to be a great coach in this league wherever he goes. I would rather him stick around with the Raptors, especially if we don't have any good alternative solutions to fill in for him immediately. Bestian in the chat saying Adrian, referring to Adrian Griffin, assistant coach. He's really good. But I just still think Nick Nurse, championship experience, coach of the year. Like, nah. For me personally, the resume is too strong to write Nick Nurse off after this weird season. Chris Paul hits a buzzer beater 3. It was a tie game, but now it's 31-28. The Raptors are trailing by 3 after the first quarter. I know some people have thrown out Ime Udoka as an interesting coaching substitution. I wouldn't be opposed to that either, but I just still think Nick Nurse is too strong to get rid of right now. Hey guys, and while I got everyone hanging out during an intermission, want to take a second to talk about CoolBet. The description of this video has a CoolBet link in it. If you want to sign up at CoolBet, please use the link. And we also are going to be doing some boosts in the future, along with some giveaways that we're rolling out. Let me know what you guys want boosted. I say it all the time. If you have a prop bet, if you have a game line bet, whatever it is, let me know what you want boosted, and CoolBet will give us the boosted odds. So it's a really customizable thing we have going with them. They're awesome, man. We love working with CoolBet. And genuinely, like, of course, paid partnership, but I've been using CoolBet forever. They're an Ontario-based book. The guys are great. When you support CoolBet, you support us. So if you're betting, I would love for you to bet with CoolBet. Check them out in the description of this video. Tom Moreau saying you have to manage the team and the talents you have, not force a square peg into a round hole. Yeah, okay, but Tom, I agree with you, but this team was largely the same last year, and Nick Nurse got a lot out of this group. So obviously he's fallen short this season, but I think he's shown that he can get success out of this particular group. Obviously, you need to do it at a sustained rate to keep your job, but I feel like he's shown good glimpses. This is obviously a bad glimpse, but after one season that was underwhelming, like, I'm not ready to part with a really good coach. I get where you're coming from, but obviously he's shown that, like, this is a roster he was able to work with Does all the accountability really need to fall onto Coach Nurse? I do get what you're saying, but this is an interesting conversation. Tristan saying Wancho underperforming and Otto injured. He did say at the beginning of the season he tried to get Fred and Pascal less minutes, but things didn't work out as expected regarding those two and the bench. I mean, let's be real. The bench wasn't that great last season either. It was better, but it wasn't that great. I remember on live stream last season talking about how if we really want to crank this up a notch, the bench has to be scoring more. So this is a bit of an older issue, albeit an unfixed issue. Siakam, mid range, misses the offensive foul. Really? For what, a push off? That was kind of soft. Chris Paul with it. I see an interesting comment in the chat I want to get to, but I want to watch this next couple seconds of play here. Oh, picked off there by Bo Cruz. Beauty. Okay, take the D to the O. Take the D to the O. Siakam gets blocked, and he's going to be fouled. Okay, successfully took the D to the O. He's going to go shoot too. But the comment I wanted to point out was Tom again saying, we were not as good as our record last season. To me, that is clear. Interesting. It's so funny, actually. This is an interesting bit of perspective because I think it's a lot easier right now to look at what we did last season and be like, how come that hasn't carried over? We have the same group. They're more experienced, more chemistry. How come we don't have that same success right now? I feel like a lot of people, including myself, are looking at it from that perspective. But Tom's looking at it as like, maybe last season was a bit of a fluke. Maybe we did overachieve and now we're just coming back. We're regressing to the mean. Right now, we're showing our more true ceiling. And honestly, point given, I think that's a decent point. But if anything, that means Coach Nurse got a team that wasn't that good last season and made them overperform, and now it's catching up to him a little bit. If anything, Tom, I think that point might strengthen the case for Nick Nurse to still be a good coach for this group. There's a whole bunch of ways you could flip this around and look at it. But ultimately, I'm just going to stand on the point that I think Nick Nurse is too valuable of an asset to just fire. Chris Paul with the ball. Raps down by one. CP3 guarded by Hernan Gomez. Step back three. That is so uncontested, and he hits it. That's a mismatch on defense. You cannot have Wancho guarding CP3 on the perimeter. You're begging for that to happen. Raps down by four. Siakam out to Boucher. Boucher pump fake, driving, kicking. Siakam three. Misses it. Scotty Barnes almost with the putback. Okay, but he's fouled there going up for the offensive rebound, and I think he's going to be shooting too. Hey, shout out to John Bucket in the chat. Adventures with Smiles saying, you both got good points. Nurse did fail also with development from the G League. That's an interesting point, actually. Dwayne Casey was great at taking guys that were coming up from the G League and working on them. That's something that we haven't seen as much in this very modern iteration of the Raptors. We pulled full-blown championship level contributors out of our G League system. And that's something that maybe we could look at the drafting a little bit. I think taking Malachi Flynn over Desmond Bane. There's a bunch of things you look at where it's like, damn, that hurt us. Ishmael Wainwright hitting a bank three. That sucks, 37-32. But good point as well. That's something that has dropped off. Scotty Barnes for three. Misses. Hey, Brandon, how's it going? Welcome back to the chat. Appreciate you popping in. Pump fake, kick to the corner. Ishmael Wainwright misses the three. Batted out, but to Chris Boucher. All right, Chris driving right at Chris Paul, and it's tapped away by Wainwright. Siakam gets the loose ball and hits it home for a rebound, a putback bucket. There we go. One possession game. Good hustle by Siakam there, cleaning up the scraps. Oh man, Courtney Lee hitting the floater. I'm not gonna lie, when Courtney Lee played in Golden State, I thought he was such a scrub. I was like, this guy's literally here because he's family with Steph. But to his credit, he's done really well since coming over to Phoenix. Done well within the scope of his role, that is. Siakam. Barnes for three. Man, that's Scotty's second air ball from three of the game. Whatever, though. I like the confidence, but that's short memory, right? On to the next. To the corner. Josh Okogie takes the mid-range. Good contest by Barnes. I gotta say, Josh Okogie's another player that I really love. This Suns roster has some good two-way players. Josh Okogie, Cam Johnson, Mikal Bridges, even Chris Paul still, like really good two-way players. They're a contender in my books. And again, a very good point by Tom. He's saying there's no explaining away how good we are defensively when we have how bad we are defensively when we have such great defensive players. Sorry, the chat's going so crazy. It just disappeared off my screen. But I get what Tom's saying. Like, how can this not be on the coach if we have such great defensive players, but the defense itself is just so terrible? The only thing I could say to this that would defend Nick Nurse, and even not even fully, but a little bit, would just be, have you ever heard the saying, the best defense is a good offense? I think Golden State has proven that to a certain degree, but the longer you hold on to the ball, the more that you're scoring, the more that you dominate the pace, the better the defense is going to be by virtue of that. And the offense for the Raptors has just hit an absolute standstill. Like, we don't move the ball the way we need to. The Stars were really dragging their feet for different points in the season. That's definitely supplemented a bad defensive effort. Not saying it's the sole reason, but I will say that in defense of Nick Nurse. It's not all the zone. I think the fact our offense has sucked a lot too has hurt us. But again, like, I'm not going to deny facts all day. Like, Nick Nurse is underachieving. I just don't agree with firing him right now. Dal L saying Scotty Air Barnes, but for very different reasons than MJ. Yeah, that's Scotty Barnes at the free throw line right now. But yeah, a couple bad shots here by Scotty Barnes. He's airballed a couple 3-point attempts. Just not what you want to see. Tristan Phipps saying, I heard this year Pascal is the primary scorer, and last year Fred was the primary. You know, they've always kind of gone back and forth, but to be real with you, if you want to contend for a championship, I don't think either of those guys should be your primary scorer. I think both of those guys are amazing, like top two, top three guys to support a championship team, but neither option's perfect. But interesting observation, or at very least comment. All right, missed three-pointer there for the Suns, rebounded by Boucher, and now it's in the hands of Barnes. He drops it off there to Trent Jr. and gets it right back. Scotty, come on, hit him with the post work. He does. Gets the bucket. 2-point game. Get my flames on for that. Courtney Lee missing the three. Rebound for Okogie. He gets the putback. Man, Okogie's a beast. I would love him on the Raptors. I mean, he doesn't really stretch the floor too well, which sucks, but you want to talk about a hard two-way player. He's that. Oh, man, that is such a flop. Mikal Bridges gets the and one. That is a flop and a half. That was such a flop. I mean, he played it perfect, but absolutely selling the flop. Like I see some people talking in the chat and agreeing that look, you can't put it fully on the players, you can't put it fully on the coach. Obviously, I think that that is the middle ground we need to come to, that it's not all on Nick Nurse and it's not all on the players. But I think it's also, I mean, you have one coach. You've got what, a roster of like 15, 16 guys? I think it's a 14-man roster actually, but 14 guys on a roster. Scotty Barnes, a nice floater shot. Check that out. Um, but I think that obviously if you have one roster spot for a coach, you might need to tough it out a little bit longer because it's a higher commodity, right? Like it's like the quarterback position in football. If you have a quarterback during underperforming in kind of an off year, you still got to keep him, right? Like that guy is the absolute nucleus of what you're doing. And even if he's underperformed, but you still have faith in him, he's proven himself before. These things don't grow on trees. Head coaches don't grow on trees. I don't want to make a haste decision to get rid of Nick Nurse in the middle of what's been a hectic year for everyone. He's the quarterback. Guys, if you hadn't had a chance to yet, do me a favor and just drop a like on this video real quick. Help get it recommended to other Raptors fans looking to tune in. Always, always appreciate it. Tank for Wemby saying, nah, it starts with the front office for building a poorly constructed team. I mean, they've put defense like above everything, which is very clear on paper, but to Tom's point, like where's the defense been? So yeah, I mean, you could take the blame pie and slice it like four different ways at this point. I just don't think anyone has a disproportionate amount of blame where it's like that guy needs to be fired. Obviously, I do think that when you look at the players' core, guys, I'm really trying not to get attacked here on live stream, but our best players, Siakam included, need to be better. And when I look at Siakam potentially due for a supermax contract in the offseason at age 29, with him being the leader of a team that's many games below 500, I'll trust Masai Ujiri because he's earned that benefit of the doubt, but I don't know, man. I don't know. We got some big questions coming up on contract. Carlos in the chat saying, good evening. Greetings from Panama. Hey, salute Carlos. Appreciate you coming on. Tom Moreau saying, I so disagree on Siakam. He's working hard to keep everyone together. I'm not saying he isn't. I'm definitely not saying he isn't. But, see, it's so hard to rebuttal these arguments without coming off as an a-hole. But effort to a certain degree is amazing, but results are what justifies a supermax deal. And Siakam doesn't have the postseason results. Right now, he doesn't have the regular season results. And if he's going to cost us that kind of dime when we're sort of young and rebuilding, it raises questions, right? I'm not saying trade him for nothing. I promise you, I'm not saying trade him for nothing. If the deal isn't there, please do not do it. But if you have a deal that can actually benefit you long-term down the road and avoid you paying a supermax deal to a debatable player, maybe explore that. But I do respect the people who are getting gung-ho and defending Siakam. I think it's nice to have a fan base that will, ride and die with their star players. I just tend to be a bit more I want to say realistic, but if you want to coin me as pessimistic, that's fine too. I just think right now we're in the dumps, right? I don't think anyone's off the block in terms of accountability. Adventures with Smiles saying, Josh, use stats. When you're not streaming, look at stats so you can come with the legit best discussion. Yes, always, stats are always going to corroborate what you're saying. What's the expression? It's like men lie, women lie, numbers don't lie. And that's definitely true. But, I think a big stat when it comes to the Siakam argument, for me at least, is that he's never won the postseason matchup, a postseason series, being the best player in that series, like ever. And like I said, I think the Supermax is reserved for superstar players, and superstar players are people with finals MVP potential. I don't know if I see that in Siakam right now, but shot clock violation on the Raptors. It's going to be going back with the Suns. We're down by 7. Cam Johnson driving, kicking. Mikal Bridges kicks it out to Saric. Saric floater, missing that. Rebound for Ayton. Missing that. Another rebound for Ayton and the dunk. Oh, they're waving it off though. Foul on the floor. Who's it charged to? But that was some bad rebounding there. 3 offensive rebounds in a row. I wanted to point this out. Castro in the chat saying, let's not forget Pascal Siakam was a 27th overall pick. His value right now is way above that as a keynote. Oh, for sure. Pascal Siakam is one of the best stories in the NBA. Absolutely no doubt. All respect to Pascal. I personally love Pascal. I would love for him to start dropping 30 and 40 pieces and winning games and bringing us like I would never ever root against a Raptors player, but especially Siakam. It's just when push comes to shove and we're trying to figure out how to get this team better, like of course I'm evaluating all options. But no, you're definitely right. He's exceeded all expectations and he's been a legendary Raptor. I definitely can't discount anyone that says he's in the conversation for the GOAT. Most certainly. Achua misses the 3, rebounded there by Ayton. Okay, 51-43. 4:45 to go until halftime. Drops off to Ayton, gets the dunk. A little pick and roll there. Or give and go, I guess I should say. But Ayton getting the flush from Bridges. This is funny. Okay, Lord 2 Senpai saying Sarge looks like a Walmart Steven Adams. Facts. Bro, Lord 2 Senpai, man, you're too funny. This guy's always got something slick to say. Barnes, step back 3 over Johnson. Misses that. Okay, at least it wasn't an air ball. Suns coming back with it. Oh, Achua blocks Cam Johnson. Man, I gotta say, I'm in love with Cam Johnson's game. He is so good. Also, am I the only one that thinks he kind of looks like Blueface? A little bit. It's not crazy, but a little bit. Ooh, the left-handed layup and the foul. Fred VanVleet, chance for the 3-point play. What a nice finish. Good drive to the bucket, too. It once, and it won us a championship. But you're right. I think the look for a true number 1 is even more competitive than a good head coach. I would agree with that. But to say that then would insinuate Siakam's a good true number 1. I don't know if that's like a fair assumption, but I do agree with the statement. He's saying, I don't want to wait for Michael Jordan to suddenly appear. Fair enough. Fair enough. Me neither. But, we're a little bit down the line with Siakam. I hate when I get too caught up on the Siakam conversation because it's definitely not an enjoyable topic, but I get what you're saying, Tom. Good on-ball pressure there by Trent Jr. Shot clock down. Bridges takes the shot, and then the offensive rebound is put back by DeAndre Ayton. He's having a good game so far. Really active on the glass. Raps down by 9. Trent Jr. driving in. There we go. Misses the shot, but Precious Achiuwa there to get the rebound and put it home. He's been a great spark off the bench. Raptors get the defensive rebound there. Fred VanVleet takes it on offense. Takes the pick there, driving in, kicking it back out to the perimeter. Trent Jr. for three. Misses that. Achua. He's fouled off of the offensive rebound. He's going to be shooting too. So Tom Moreau saying the thing is, whatever the problems on this team, Siakam is not it. Okay, I agree Siakam's not the reason we're losing games, but is he the solution? You know, because we have a good team. Let's not act like we're putting scrubs out there with him. He's got an all-star in Fred VanVleet. Okay, say whatever you want about how Fred's played this season. He has a last season all-star still on the roster. He's got Gary Trent Jr., who's very good. He's got Scotty Barnes, a reigning rookie of the year. He's got a decent few little bench players in Chris Boucher, Thad Young, OG Anunoby as well. Like, he's not playing with scrubs. Like, if he was a true number one with a roster like that, I would expect a Supermax guy to kind of be the solution, you know? But again, I'm not saying he's the problem. Michael Pester saying the issue has been too many guys in contract seasons, in contract years playing ISO and not playing with their roles. It's messed the team up. See, this is an interesting take I haven't heard before, actually. I'm not sure if I fully agree, but interesting perspective. Like, we do have a lot of guys who are coming up on contract, and I think ISO ball's been an issue. So, yeah, interesting. I'm not sure. Chat, let me know who agrees with that, but interesting comments there from Michael. Toronto Yardy saying, would you put Boucher in a trade package? Look, in my opinion, no one's off the table. Absolutely nobody is safe. I think that if there's a deal with value and you feel like you're getting out on the winning side of it, of course, you need to make that deal. And Chris Boucher, I think, is low-key really nice trade bait because he's under contract for, I think, at least one more season, if not two more seasons. And let's be real, he's probably our best bench piece outside of Achua. And even when you compare him to Precious Achua, like Chris Boucher on average will probably score more buckets, not by a lot, but by a little. He can stretch the floor a little bit more. He's still a very good defender. I think that Chris Boucher would fit great. If, like, we're trying to do a deal with the Mavericks and we need to move that needle a little bit, they would love a player like Chris Boucher, who I don't know what contender wouldn't want a 6'9", rim protecting, 3-point shooting big man to come off the bench. Like, he's awesome depth at the 4 and 5 spot. So no, very underrated trade bait there. Achua missing the second free throw. Rebounded there by Ayton. Raps down by 6, but hey, it's a 2-possession game. Just over 2 minutes until half. Bridges with it, guarded by Trent Jr. Kicks it over there to Torrey Craig. Torrey Craig's a nice piece as well. There we go. Entry pass picked off there by Achua. That was kind of a sloppy pass, but hey, credit my man with the steal. Siakam fumbles the ball a little bit, but recovers. He's backing in there on Chris Paul. The double comes. He kicks it. Precious driving. Off the glass. Gets it to go. Hey, you wanted the and one. Not going to get it, but good stuff. Hey, we got I got multiple animations going. Taking a second to shout out Paul Blunt here. He's saying there are 3 things certain in life: death, taxes, and Goody hating on Siakam. Shout out to Paul Blunt, who just renewed a membership for 15 months in the Superstar tier. Man, first of all, Paul, thank you so much. And you certainly did not lie. That is the absolute truth. Oh my God, I'm sorry for the Siakam slander. I'm really sorry. And if it means anything, I hope I'm wrong. I genuinely do. I'll wear the embarrassment. I hope I'm wrong. But first and foremost, shout out to Paul Blunt, really an OG on the channel and showing love here with a superstar tier membership. Always appreciated. And he's not wrong, not even a little bit. Um, it's just been, I'm not gonna get into. I'm not gonna get into it. I'm just gonna bite my tongue. Chris Paul from the corner hits a tough three. Damn, over Fred Van Vliet. That was heavily contested. 9-point lead right now for Phoenix. Siakam cutting in, left his feet a little too early and ends up throwing it out of bounds. It's going to be Suns ball with under 10 seconds to go in the half. Courtney Lee checks in, 3-point shooting on the court. Germán asking, what did you think of my game plan? I didn't see it. I did not see that, Germán. If you want to copy and paste it and put it back in, I'll check it out. Sorry for that. Chris Paul, the three. Missing that. It's going to be 62-53. The Suns are up. We go to halftime. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. Yeah, Rap's still in this big time, but I don't know. If we lose here, okay, I hate saying this, but if we lose, you got to really think that the verdict from the road trip is that we're not ready to compete. Time to look at the trade market, because the Raptors apparently are not answering the phones until they're back from this road trip. They want to see how it goes. And by and large, I think the road trip had its glimpses, but we're in an exact same situation as when we went on the road trip. So get ready for some trades to come in. All right, I'm going to pull up the box score. I'm going to see how I'm doing here on the bets. I don't think I'm doing amazing, but not necessarily bad. Let me see. Okay, so you guys check out that Cool Bet sponsored play of the day. If you're looking to sign up at Cool Bet, you can do that in the description of this video. Always appreciated. But okay, we'll start off with Siakam assists. He has 0. He has none. Absolutely none. That is what it is. Okay, Gary Trent Jr., though, on the three-pointers, he's 2 of 4. Okay, so that bet looks like it's on pace. And then Scotty Barnes over 15.5 points. He currently has 8. So that's on pace as well. Exactly on pace. I don't know how likely it is to see Siakam get 6 assists in a half, but definitely not impossible. So pray for me, guys. So I would love to see this bet cash. And check out the CoolBet app, CoolBet Sportsbook. It is Ontario-based, Ontario-regulated, available across Canada. Absolutely check it out when you guys have a chance. Guys, I'm curious. Throw out some mock trades in the chat. You know what? I'm actually gonna hop on to someone give me the name of the site again that people were using to mock up trades. Send me that site and we'll mock up some trades together here at halftime. I'll switch over to the scene. I gotta hop off quick to get some water. I'll put it on the loading screen, but as I'm doing that, put in the name of that site. I forget the name of it. We'll mock up some trades and we'll do it together. So I'll be back in 1 second to get some water. Okay, I am back. Let's see. Did anyone mock up any? What's the site's name? Fanspo. Okay, Germon's right. Let me pull that up. Okay, here we go. Fanspo trade machine. Thank you, Germon, for reminding me. So it was interesting seeing the trending players on this. Okay, let me share my screen. Okay, it's gonna take 1 sec. Shrink this down. Okay, let me just move this down. Is my audio coming through? Yeah, okay, it is. It is. All right. Okay, let's draw up some trades here. So I'll add the Raptors as a team. Okay. So in terms of what we're looking to do here, what is a good trade partner for the Raptors? You know what? We'll stay on theme. Let's see if the Phoenix Suns, like what we could do with them. So I'll add that team. Suns, Raptors. Okay. Who realistically would be of interest to the Suns? You know what? Chris Boucher was a topic of conversation. Let's see, putting him in a deal. I feel like maybe they wouldn't be a great trade partner, actually, just from the standpoint of we have a lot of wing players on the market, and they already are really deep at the wing. So maybe we just scrap the whole idea. Okay, Tank for Wemby saying Lakers, Warriors, or Blazers. We've already done the Warriors and the Blazers. I don't think we've done the Lakers. Let's see even what we could get from the Lakers. Okay, Lakers and Raptors. Oh, that's team one. I'm messing this whole thing up. 1 sec. I'm going to reset this. Okay. Add team one, Raptors. Add team two, Lakers. The 12th seed in the West. That's insane. Yeah, Lord 2 Senpai requesting the Shanghai Sharks. Let me see. Okay, Lakers have been wanting Gary Trent Jr. So, okay. If we put him in the deal, let's look over on the Lakers side of things. What could we get back in return? So, Trent Jr. on the table. Okay, let's see. Okay, believe it or not, Pat Bev would actually be a really good addition to the Raptors for like a minimal cost. So let's put Pat Bev in there, even as like a bit of a salary offset. Trade to Raptors. Okay. And Rui Hachimura. So let's see, like Rui Hachimura. I think that would be decent. Thomas Bryant would be very nice. We lost out on Thomas Bryant in free agency, though. Okay. Let's put Rui. RT, restricted trade, maybe? Is that a recently traded? Okay. I don't know why it's not popping up. Let me widen my screen a little bit and see if this helps. Okay, there we go. Okay, so right now, would this trade work? How can I even... Let me try this trade. Obviously, I don't think I would do this, but let me see. Yeah, so trade failed. Okay, so yeah, Rui Hachimura cannot be traded. Okay, so we'll go back to that. So instead of Rui Hachimura, people saying Lonnie Walker, maybe. I mean, that would be a decent replacement. Man, the Lakers are so dry. Like, so dry. Scottie Pippen Jr.? That would be interesting, actually. Like, wow. Like, insanely picked over roster. Okay, Lonnie. Well, I'm getting a lot of calls in the chat for Lonnie Walker. So let me put him in the trade. Okay, so we got Lonnie Walker, Pat Bev, and in terms of picks, what do the Lakers have? Okay, so like a second rounder in 2023, or like, I mean, a first rounder would be nice, but Gary Trent Jr., no guarantee he signs after the deal, but they're all in with LeBron. So let's see. An unprotected first round in 20. Oh, man, I don't know if they would do that. Okay, let's go with something realistic. Let me try this trade. Trade success. What are the thoughts on this? Gary Trent Jr., who would only be on contract for the remainder of the year, in return for Pat Beverly, Lonnie Walker, and a second round pick. What are the thoughts there? Who's saying yes to this deal? Yeah, okay, and Tom Moreau saying, unless you want a Westbrook, no sense looking at the Lakers, and why would we want Westbrook? I completely agree. We would not want Russell Westbrook. Germán saying L. Laura 2 Senpai saying hell nah. Yeah, the consensus in the chat is no way. People are shutting this one down all day. Okay. Yeah, the Lakers are kind of a like what are we going to do with the Lakers? Yeah, a resounding no from the chat, unsurprisingly. Okay. So maybe the Lakers aren't the best team to look at. Yeah, we need a bit more. The Heat have been coveting Gary Trent Jr. for a while now. So let's see. Gary Trent Jr., trade to the Heat. Who would we want back off the Heat? We already know that like Tyler Hero's off limits. Who's interested in Duncan Robinson? He makes a lot of money. 6.9 million per year over 4 years. I think they would actually welcome sending Duncan Robinson. What are your thoughts on that, guys? He would bring some shooting. He would still be in that 6'9" range of size. Duncan Robinson would actually be a pretty nice fit with our team. How would we feel about that? And for the people asking for Mavericks and stuff, yeah, we've done the Maverick one before. We could do it again. Bestien in the chat saying 3-team trade. Lakers get FVV and Gary Trent Jr. Spurs get Boucher and Lakers 2 future picks. Raptors get Russ and Jakob Poeltl. Okay, I know you're saying that's a deal intentioned for creating off-season cap space, but I can't agree. I can't agree because I feel like you can get a lot more for that. And let's be real, the Raptors don't fare well in free agency. We do not we do not fare well in free agency at all. Oh, you said Lakers fans are promoting that one. Of course they are. Of course they are. Like, no, that makes no sense for the Raptors, in my opinion. Um, but okay, let's say hypothetically, getting back Duncan Robinson, who's on contract, and like let's say also we take a pick from the Heat. So like a 2026 first round pick. That would be a lot, I think, right? For Gary Trent, for one season of Gary Trent Jr. to give up a good player in Duncan Robinson, who's kind of got a bad contract and a first rounder, though. I'm curious. Let me try the trade. Trade failed. Let me see why that is. So consecutive draft years 2025 and 2026 will be missing a first round pick. Oh, so the Lakers can't give up two first round picks in a row? Is that what the issue is? Confusing. Okay, let me trade around. Let me play around with that pick though. Okay, so 2023 first rounder. Let me sub that in instead. Oh crap, I just clicked into something totally different. Let's see, picks. We'll undo that one. Undo trade. Okay, let me try this. Let me see if this works. Success. Okay. So how would we feel about this? Gary Trent Jr. in return for Duncan Robinson and a 2023 first round pick, which for the Heat would probably be around like, I don't know, like an 18th or something overall pick. A little bit higher maybe, like a 19th, 20th overall pick. I mean, for 1 year of Gary Trent Jr. to get back a guy who's going to be on contract and Duncan Robinson, who's a great shooter and with size that would help our team, and a first rounder, I mean, that's more appealing than some of the trades we've mocked up. Okay, well, the game is back underway here. I see a maybe from Tristan Phipps. I'm seeing an L trade from German. These are the reasons I'm not a GM, guys. Let's see. Let me go back to the base scene. I got all my animations blowing up. Okay. Yeah, so I think that was, I mean, a considerable trade, no? Duncan Robinson, as much as the contract's not ideal, you get some years, at least 2 years, I think 3 more seasons of Duncan Robinson, who's a really historically great shooter, especially at his size, and a first rounder for Trent Jr. That's that has potential. Okay, Tom Moreau saying go get quickly. I agree. I want Emmanuel quickly. Tom Moreau and I rarely align, but Emmanuel quickly is someone I'm willing to put some chips forward to get. So that's some tempting thought. Next trade we mock up should be a Knicks one. Okay, Raps within two. Did I? Oh my God, it's a one possession game. So clearly I've missed a little bit here into the second half. Cam Johnson for three, missing that. Rebound Barnes gets it immediately to Van Vliet. Trent Jr. for three, gets it. There we go. Okay, you guys know I have that Gary Trent Jr. 3+ 3-pointers bet. He's already hit that. Let's see what else is in store. What have I missed so far? Scotty have any points too? But the Raptors taking the lead with that one too. Come on now. Jag Lens saying you're behind, we're up one. Yeah, I don't know what it is. I mean, there's a natural delay with the stream, but my scoreboard actually updates faster than the broadcast. And I pay for League Pass, so I don't know how that is. But Interesting. German saying personally, I would have asked for Jovic and Max. Yeah, Nikola Jovic is a nice little player, actually. He'd be a nice little acquisition to pick up. Bastian saying, "Oh, this trade talk got the Raptors playing better." That's how it goes, man. That's how it goes. Tom Moreau saying, "I'm going to assume a deal would have already been made, except that they don't want to trade Emmanuel quickly." Yeah, I think if the Knicks were a little bit better, they would be more willing to do that. But like, let's say they do acquire 1 year of Gary Trent Jr. Like, what do the Knicks realistically expect? Like, okay, now we're contenders? No, not yet. So yeah, that's a good question. I feel like if the Knicks were a bit better right now or a little further along the line, like trading Emmanuel quickly wouldn't be so daunting. But I think they understand like their ceiling is a second round exit right now. That's the ceiling. Lord 2 Senpai asking Josh, do you drive or use TTC? I'm mainly in the suburbs, my guy, so I'm driving for the most part. Tom Moreau pointing out that Masai's holding out. He is. And as he should be, though, like, it's going to be an arms race, an absolute arms race. It's going to take one big trade to make GMs get off their wallet and stock up. So I think that, the deals that are on the table now won't change until trade deadline, and they'll only have the potential to get better. So I respect that move. Suns missed the shot. Rebound for Van Vliet. Scotty gets it. Oh, to Achua. What a beautiful pass in the reverse there by Precious. Amazing play there. Two big men hooking up for the nice shot. Chris Paul throws it over there to Ayton. Scotty Barnes guarding him. Kicks it out. Bridges pulling up. Mid-range J. Gets it to go. A little shooter's roll there. You know he's hot when. "12-0 run for the Raptors." Germán pointing that out. I guess it was until that shot there, but wraps up by one. Siakam backing in on Cam Johnson, shooting over him. That was a tough shot. Almost made it, but rebounded there by Ayton, and now the Suns are with it on offense. It's in CP3's hands. It's crazy to think about CP3 when he was on OKC. Torrey Craig, nice mid-range J. What a really good player for what they need. Torrey Craig is really good. I mean, you talk about like solid role players. Torrey Craig, pretty much as solid as they come for just a plug in and play guy. Trent Jr. and one. There we go. Showing some nice interior cutting and scoring, getting the bucket. A lot of people reluctant to give up Trent Jr. And I'm in that boat too. It's got to be a good return. But man, they know we're strapped. Like, if we don't do it, he's a UFA. He's going to be asking for a lot more than $20 million yearly. Chris Paul takes the pick, driving to his left. Guarded by Achua. Good job by Precious staying in front of him. Forces a miss there. Good defense by Precious on the much shiftier Chris Paul. Siakam gets it to Barnes. Ooh, man, I wish he dunked that. Batting it around, almost gets it. Finally does. The third time batting it in. Gets it to go. Picking up a couple offensive rebounds. He's just stat padding. Tristan Phipps saying, I'm kind of looking forward to trade deadline. I am as well. I mean, it's going to rumble. It is going to rumble, and all eyes are on the Raptors, just as Woj said. There we go. We draw the offensive foul. Raps coming back the other way with it now. Up by 4. Love to see it. I agree. Jagged Lens saying if Gary Trent Jr. expresses some content or some intent to stay, you keep him. Agreed. Siakam misses that shot, but Scotty Barnes there to get the offensive rebound and put it back. Okay, I got an interesting question for you guys. Oh, stripped away. There we go. Precious Achua takes it away from Cam Johnson, coming back the other way. Van Vliet, almost the end one, but he's going to be going to the line for 2. Interesting question. I have a question. Okay. I feel like I know the answer to this, but I'm genuinely curious. Raptors fans, who would you rather have? Just thinking about the next couple seasons. Who would you rather have? Jalen Brunson or Gary Trent Jr.? I think the most standard answer would be Jalen Brunson, but I am curious what you guys think. I don't think they're that far apart. Curious what the chat's saying on this one. Fred misses the second free throw. Oh, Precious Achua with another steal. He's been racking up the defensive stats since he's come back off injury. Achua, floater, misses that, rebounded by Craig. Wraps up by 6. Still a 2-possession game, though. Or hold on, up by 7. My apologies. Batted out. Van Vliet gets it. Outlet pass to Achua. Precious gets it swatted away there, though. Chris Paul with a nice active hands making a defensive play. Entry pass to Ayton. Pump fake, and he's fouled. That was a smart foul by Scotty Barnes. Ooh. Scotty getting into it a little bit. I like it. Look at this. They're clapping each other's faces. This is too funny. I'm turning on the heat. It's getting hot in here, man. I love it from Scotty Barnes. To be fair, like, what does Ayton expect? Like, that's a situation where you foul. It wasn't an aggressive foul. It was just, I'm not going to let you shoot the ball. That was fair all day. Okay, we got some mixed answers. So some people saying Brunson, some people saying Gary. Yeah, I'm curious. Like, which one would you guys rather have? I mean, it is kind of a close debate. No, Gary Trent Jr. or Jalen Brunson. Like, but the fact it's even a debate could tell you a little bit about how much Gary Trent Jr. could make on the open market, which is kind of scary. Oh, what a pass. Scotty finding Pascal Siakam. Beautiful lay-in. Gets it to go. There we go. Achua picks off that. Going the other way. Trent Jr. misses the dunk. He should have passed it. I shouldn't have expected him to pass it, but he should have passed it. Had Siakam there. He misses. Cam Johnson comes back with a 3. That's a 5-point swing. A missed 2 on the one end, and then a 3-pointer made on the other in fast break. That hurts. Okay, whistle call. It's going to be side out of bounds for the Raptors. So, let me find this. Nettie asking, depends on the contract. Brunson is $25 million. So, hypothetically, let's say that Gary Trent Jr. gets that same contract as Jalen Brunson this offseason, which I think would actually be a kind of a fair market for him. So, if they're both making $25 million yearly, who do you pick next season? Both guys going to have the same hit on the cap, $25 million that year. Who are you taking, Brunson or Trent Jr.? Precious in the corner, driving in, spinning. Oh wow, what a move, man! You could tell he took that right out of Pascal Siakam's playbook. Spin move, scoring on the interior, wraps up by 6. How about the fact the Raptors coaching staff is decked out in those salmon tees, the quarter zips there. The salmon color is throwing me off. I don't know what it is. Okay, Bestien saying I'd take Brunson over FVV, but Gary over Brunson. Okay, mixing the pot a little bit there. I like it. Some interesting responses. Germán saying Aiton beefing with everyone. Yeah, including his own teammates. That guy's volatile. I wouldn't even want DeAndre Ayton just because he seems like such a hard person to please, and he definitely doesn't like hold himself back from tilting with his teammates. He doesn't seem like someone that takes constructive criticism well. Maybe lacking some accountability. Some good deflections there, but Torrey Craig gets it. Oh my God. Bounces around a couple missed putbacks and ends up with Siakam. Pascal. Oh my God. Absolute cluster right now. Van Vliet with it. Fred from deep. That's a brick. That is a brick. Oh. Chris Paul hits the mid range. Made a career out of it. 4 minutes to go in the third quarter. All right, timeout taken. Nick Nurse trying to regroup his guys here. We got a 3-point lead for the Raptors at the moment. Got to plug in my laptop. One sec. Lord 2 Senpai saying apparently Suns fans want Jay Crowder gone ASAP. It's funny you say that because when I was on Fanspo, Jay Crowder was trending as the number one player that's been put into mock trades, which I found really weird just because like I don't hear the public buzz about him the way I hear it about like other players in the market. All right, let me quickly check out the box score here. Just got a text saying set your lineups, brother. For what? What am I missing here? I'm so bad with fantasy, guys. It's just absolutely terrible. All right, Trent Jr. with it on the perimeter. Taking a long mid range. Offensive foul. Weird. Loose ball foul called against the Raps. Going back the other way. Bridges hands it off there to Ishmael Wainwright. He's driving, gets to the rim and scores. 1 point game, man. Ishmael Wainwright getting valuable minutes and contributing for Phoenix all season. Siakam pulling up in the mid range, missing that off the side of the rim, and it's rebounded there by Mikal Bridges. Now with CP3. Ayton regains the lead there with a mid range floater, 78-77. Siakam backing in. Continues to back in, misses the shot. Ayton getting the rebound. I guess that's not the shot. And then Ayton with the bucket at the other end. Still a one possession game, but Suns up by 3. Fred VanVleet kicks it out. Trent Jr. for 3. Missing that. A little bit of a cold streak right now for the Raptors. Chris Paul missing. Boucher there with the rebound. All right, VanVleet with it now. He's going to yank a 3. There we go. Sticks it. Snaps that streak there. Tom Moreau saying, I truly hate not having a bench mob. I agree, man. Those are the best days of the Raptors where you can put out your bench and just really start to run. Like that's definitely one of the better iterations we've seen of the Raptors. And the bench mob survived even till our 2019 season. Like we always had that deep bench ready to go. Time to rebuild a little bit maybe. Fred again from 3. Misses that. Tie game currently. Under a minute now in the third. CP3 gets it stolen by Trent Jr. He's off in transition. Gets the lay in. There we go. Taking the D to the O. Love to see it. Raps pull ahead. Gurman, I'm saying they sign you as a player. Jag Lens saying, I want you to find a trade for Pascal and our 2023 first round pick. Are you saying in the same deal or just in general? Tang for Wemby asking, does anyone know what happened to Wieskamp? Did he get waived? So no, I don't think he got waived. He did 2 10-day contracts back to back and then didn't get re-extended by the team. Adventures with Smile saying, forget who said this earlier. No, it isn't about Nurse to develop these players from the G League. They already proved they should be in the NBA. Nurse failed as developing them in the NBA. I mean, we've had a few, like, it's interesting too, because, like, yeah, look at a guy like Delano Banton who goes to the G League and clearly looks too good for the G League. Like, he looks like he's ready to make that next jump. But yeah, just can't stick around at the next level. I agree. Like, that has been one of the faults of Nick Nurse, is not picking up on the success of G League conversion, which has been a cornerstone of the Raptors franchise in recent history. Tom Moreau pointing out Nurse has 1 year left on his contract, and I don't imagine they get rid of him before the contract's done. I really don't. Like knowing that, to be honest, that's kind of like the first clarification I've had on his contract. I didn't look it up. But if that's accurate, then like I definitely don't think they're gonna get rid of him. You got 1 more year left with him on contract. You can't really trade coaches. So to let him go a year when you could have him for one more to prove himself and have a comeback season, I think you definitely need to keep him. Like Tom, would you fire Nick Nurse today if you were running the management? Be honest. Uh, Fred VanVleet in the mid range hits it 84-82. Okay. And that was a quick little 2-for-1 shot. So the Raptors potentially could get a final shot off here before the end of the third quarter buzzer. Over there, Craig gets it over the Mikal Bridges. The 3-point shot was blocked. Great hustle there by the Raptors defense. Trent Jr. for 3. Oh, that was a good take and even better setup by Scotty Barnes. But hey, another day, another Scotty Barnes assist that we're robbed of. That's all right. Good passing, good opportunity. That's the right look. Honestly, great way to close out the quarter there for the Raptors. They're going into the fourth up by 2. And I believe we were down by 9 at halftime. Tom Moreau saying $7 million per year for Nick Nurse. I'd honestly pay him 50. It doesn't, as long as it's coming out of Rogers' pocket and not touching our cap space, I'm fine with that. Okay, so Gary Trent Jr., he's got 2 rebounds right now. Would love to see him get a third there. I do have a side bet on him to get 3 rebounds tonight for some plus money. That would be nice. That would be really nice, actually. My God, I had a Jordan Poole over 3.5 rebounds bet today. The man got 0. Flat out got 0 rebounds. That's just pitiful. So Tom Moreau saying, no, I wouldn't have fired Nick Nurse right now, but I would have made some moves by now and would have forced him to play his bench, maybe insisted on some changed schemes. Yeah, fair. Jagged Lens saying Pascal is the DeRozan we need to move before people realize he's a DeRozan. I'm just going to sip my tea. I'm going to sip it. I'm just going to sip my tea and mind my own business. Tank for Wemby saying Siakam, Van Vliet, OG, and first round picks for Kawhi. Let's get him back. Load it up. There you go. The Clippers want to be the Raptors so bad, we'll really let them do it. Courtney Lee with the ball. We are now in the fourth quarter, guys. It is crunch time. Saban Lee. Driving, putting up that. Wow. I can't believe he got that shot to go. That was not a floater. That was a spike at the rim and ends up getting it to go. Tie game. Scotty with it on the perimeter. Gets it over to Malachi Flynn, who's touching court right now in the fourth. Okay, Fred VanVleet getting his breather. Flynn missing off the front of the rim. Tried to get the rebound. Could not. Scotty Barnes gets the ball back. Ooh, man, missing that shot. But that was okay. Hold on. Foul called? No. Foul on Hernan Gomez. Interesting. Yeah, kid, the salmon colored quarter zips are really messing with me right now. I think we can blame the lack of success on the Raptors coaching staff apparel. Saric driving in. Good defense. Great defense. Swatted it away, but then he collects it and gets the shot off and hits it. That was good swarming defense, but Malachi Flynn with the ball. Malachi kicks it out. Scotty Barnes with it. Gets it right back to Flynn, who's going to shoot a three. Misses that, gets a long offensive rebound, takes another three, and hits it on the money. There we go. Gotta love the confidence. 87 to 86, Raps pull ahead. Man, that would have been three consecutive missed shots, but he shot the third one with conviction and made it. Damon Lee missing the three. Tapped around, battling for the rebound. Saban Lee gets it. Yeah, foul on the floor. Charge to Chris Boucher. It's going to be side out of bounds with the Suns. Laura 2 Senpai saying Malachi Flynn or Gravis Vasquez. Gravis Vasquez all day. Gravis Vasquez on the Raptors was legit. We turned him into like OG Ananobi and Norm Powell. Like that was insane. Malachi gets it over there. Oh wow, what a pass by Thad Young, but Chris Boucher couldn't catch it. Ends up in a turnover. Saric drops it back to Jock Landale. He shoots a three, misses that. Rebound Boucher, and off to the races is Scotty Barnes. Scotty, oh, good pass there to Thad Young. Chalk that up as an assist for Scotty. Damian Lee. Yeah, why was I calling him Courtney Lee? So why would is it doing that? Is there another player named Courtney Lee? Man, I do the most unexplained things with players' names sometimes. What on earth? Oh, another good pass by Barnes, but unfortunately a miss there by Thad Young. Yeah, Damian Lee. Like what? Who's Courtney Lee? Yeah, okay. Courtney Lee was the player in the NBA, right? Like I have to look this up. Okay, yeah, Courtney Lee was an NBA player. Okay, thank God. I was like, why did I just make up this name? Okay, makes sense. Yeah, thank God that wasn't just pulled out of thin air because I was scaring myself for a moment. How old is Phil Jackson? Is he still able to coach? 77. Maybe not. SGE saying that Nick Nurse 6-1 praise quote got Phil Jackson energy, and you know how guys felt about Phil later in his career. I'm unfamiliar with the reference, but one thing is for certain that Nick Nurse definitely tries to emulate Phil Jackson. Tang for Wemby saying I would take Halliburton in a heartbeat. I've been saying for some time now, like Tyrese Halliburton would be such a great point guard for the Raptors. It's insane. Like he's got traditional guard skills, but being 6'8", like that right there is exactly what a dream point guard for this team would look like. I love it. He takes charge too. Like he's a leader. Plays good defense too. Like Tyrese Halliburton's the man. Ooh, good little spin move, and then Thad Young manages to get the bucket. Trailing by one. Great steal by Thad Young. Recovers it, gets it over to Barnes. Great job by Thad Young. Malachi for three. Hits it. What a sequence. Taking the D to the O, but starting with Thad Young. What a sequence for him. Dario Saric. Kicking out. Over there to Lee. Grazing the front of the rim. He misses, but then a long offense. Oh my God. Someone's got to be there to get that. He gets his long offensive rebound with such an amount of delay and then hits a three right after. Phoenix Suns pull ahead. Malachi Flynn. Little give and go. Yeah, loose ball foul. Good job, Malachi. Wow, what a job there by Thad Young. Good job, Malachi. Dal saying, how do we let Lee take another shot? No one on him. I agree. That's ridiculous. Van Vliet gets it to Barnes for the dunk. There we go. Raps pull ahead 96 to 95. Good patience by Fred and better positioning by Barnes. Johnson misses the mid range. And then a loose ball foul will charge to Barnes. Don't need that. Right now, Scotty Barnes 14, 6, and 5. 5 of 12 from the floor. 2 steals and a block. 3 turnovers, which he managed to pick up in like the first 3 minutes of the game. Hey man, Thad Young checks out. Give him a round of applause, ladies and gentlemen. Thad Young. Great little spark that he just provided off the bench. Much needed. Oh, wow. That's just a size mismatch. Ayton able to rise above all of our players to get that entry pass and get in the bucket. Scotty Barnes kicks it out. Siakam for three. Air ball, but then Malachi gets it. Flynn. That's tough. Good perimeter defense there by Mikal Bridges. No surprises. That guy is a suffocating defender. Bridges. Guarded by Van Vliet. A little bit of a size mismatch. Tries to back him down. Kicks to the corner to Lee. Lee driving along the baseline. I thought he went out. No call. Chris Paul misses the three. Rebound to Chua. Raps down by one. Approaching 5 minutes here left in the game. Scotty Barnes. He's covered by Cam Johnson. Scotty backing in. Kicks it out to Van Vliet. That's got to be a make. Like, this is the crap that I rant about, man. Scotty Barnes should be averaging 5+ assists per game. But when you tee up the best shooter on your team, open on the wing, after drawing a double, and he throws up an air ball, how are you supposed to average more than one assist like that? Lee misses that. Scotty with a big clutch defensive rebound. He's going to try to take it here, isn't he? He turns it over. Oh, he was feeling himself. Lee, the floater, hits it. Oh, man. All right. Raps down by 3. It's a 1-possession game. We got possession right now. Achua with it on the perimeter. Precious, shoot it. Say screw it, shoot it. Fred, mid-range. Hits it. There we go. Needed that, absolutely. Germán saying we need a timeout. Nick Nurse is not going to call a timeout because it's the classy tank. Kicks it out. Perimeter. Oh, wow. Gary Trent Jr. with the rebound. There we go. Okay, well, I hit my little side bet on Trent Jr. Scotty, there we go. Big bucket for him. Gets the lead, 100-99. Check out those robo arms, man. Extending like, who's the guy? Detective Gadget? Inspector Gadget. There we go. Look at that, man. The length making all the difference there. Getting a tough bucket at the rim. SGE asking chat, who are y'all higher on, Banchero or Barnes? I don't want to answer that because I don't know, but like Banchero literally reminds me of Jason Tatum. Like he's that, like he reminds me of a young Jason Tatum when he first came into the league. Um, he's legit, like legit. Curious what the chat thinks of that question too. Okay, so far Precious Achua 11-11 with 1 steal and 1 block, only 1 turnover, 2 personal fouls, but 4 offensive rebounds. He's playing a really good game. Scotty Barnes 16-7-5. Trent Jr. 19-3-1. Van Vliet 22-4-8. Siakam 17-3-0. 6 of 15 from the floor. What a ridiculous night it is to have Siakam over on assists. No defensive stats either for Siakam. 3 turnovers, 3 personal fouls. Not his best moment. Chris Boucher 5-11-1. Thad Young 4-2-0, but with 3 steals and honestly a really high impact off the bench. Malachi Flynn 6 minutes played, 6 points, 2 rebounds. And he's 2 of 5 from 3-point range. And somehow has 2 offensive rebounds. Germán asking Josh want to sign Miles Bridges. Yes, but no. I think he'd be great from a basketball standpoint, but I don't know. Like I'm not a big fan of like writing people off permanently, but like I don't know if that's really the move to make for obvious reasons. But I'm sure some team will pick him up and he'll continue to be a good NBA player. But yeah, don't know if I can endorse that personally. Ayton with it. Hands off to Bridges. He takes the shot and hits it. Gervon saying, stop hating on Josh or on Pascal, Josh. I just read his stat line out, man. That's literally all I did. I did not say a zip about Pascal other than what his game stats are currently. I read it out for every other player on the court too. And then, oh no, an offensive foul charged to Fred VanVleet. Down by 1, that is costly. Chat is crazy, man. Lord 2 Senpai is always just unhinged. Bridges, the mid-range. Man, you could tell the music was going. He was feeling himself. Hits the shot. Trent Jr. for 3. Misses, tapped out. Siakam gets it out to Fred. Fred, mid-range. Hits the shot, man. Wow, that's a tough bucket. 102 to 103. Fred VanVleet coming up big in some moments down the stretch here. He's had some not so great moments, but hitting some good mid-range shots here in the fourth. Getting to crunch time. I mean, this most certainly is crunch time. Bridges, missing that. Oh, wow. Big offensive rebound by Torrey Craig and then Chris Paul. Wow, you know that's going to have the Suns juiced. A big offensive rebound by Torrey Craig. Siakam, there to VanVleet, the 3. Misses, and Ayton gets the rebound. Craig misses that. Offensive putback is good for Ayton, though. Timeout Raptors down by 6. I mean, yeah, 2-possession game. Tom Moreau pointing out Siakam is a team high +5. Scoring is not everything. It's true. Dal saying CP hits nothing but daggers. That seems to be true as well. Anonymous ASMR saying that's game. I don't know if it's game yet, but it feels like it's getting close. Germán says might as well start signing off. Game is done. Okay, like it's a 2-possession game with a minute left. The Raps are getting the ball back right now. I can stick this one out a little bit more, personally. Shout out to Swaggy D in the chat. Not a Raps fan, but still hanging out and supporting. Appreciate it. If you're a Suns fan, I gotta say, I like your team. I've been saying it from the beginning of the stream. I think you guys are contenders, but hey, this game isn't done yet. Raps inbounding the ball, down 2 possessions, a 6-point deficit. Precious Achua out there to Barnes. Barnes for 3. Ooh, that was a good shot too. That was a good shot. Deep three, but honestly, he squared it up, and I thought that was a good take. Timeout called here by the Suns. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, might be game. Slender Man saying that's game, but I still hit my parlays, so let's go. Hey, congrats. I'll do the little money animation for you. You deserve it. I, on the other hand, would have hit my parlay. Gary Trent Jr., 3 3-pointers. Scotty Barnes, 16 points. Pascal Siakam, 0 assists. 0. Well, that is what it is, guys. But hey, thank you so much for tuning into the live stream. It's a lot of fun. Um, Adventures with Smiles saying 2 point game still. Don't sign off. Well, I, I don't. I get 2 possession game, I think you're saying. Okay. Yeah, you know what? I'll stick around for this one and see where it goes. But I will be very, very surprised to see the swing back in the Raptors' favor. But hey, I love being on live stream with everyone. So again, thank you to everyone who's supporting. And if you can, drop a like on the video, help out, make your presence felt. You know it's absolutely always appreciated. It's so funny. I still can't get over what kind of season we're having. And I see Tristan Phipps in the chat saying weird season, and Con Kim saying season done. Yeah, they were going to use this road trip as a measuring stick of what they could do the rest of the year, and now they're going to come home and I think answer the phones that have been ringing for trades. Anonymous ASMR asking, who do the Raptors play next? I think, yeah, the Jazz. Oh, Gary Trent Jr. whispering in the ref's ear. Interesting. Chris Paul fouled immediately. Tristan, I agree completely. I've been saying that for so long. I just simply don't understand what the massive difference has been. It's not even like a little difference. It's not even like we missed our win total from last season by like 3 or 4 wins. Like this is going to be massively off. Jagged lens. Like, okay, honestly, I've been saying this for so long. I like Pascal is not him. Like he's a great second option, a world class second option, but so far from being a number one Finals MVP guy that you want to build around. It's just not happening. So like, trade high on the value while it's there. While he's not a UFA that needs to be re-signed with a supermax deal. Oh man. Well, you know what? The frustration's boiling over. 109 to 102. Raps inbounding the ball. Van Vliet gets it. Trent Jr. for 3. Air ball out of bounds off of Phoenix. So it's going to be Raptors ball still. Yeah, guys, at this point, I think we're looking at a done game. So appreciate everyone tuning in with me on live stream. Really, really do appreciate it. And I'm looking forward to the next one. And the closer we get to trade deadline, the sweeter this could potentially get for some deals. The game hasn't been exciting, but I think come some deals, it's going to be exciting to see what comes back to the Raptors. And I trust Masai. With all the questioning, I still trust Masai. And there's going to be an arms race. There is going to be an arms race to stock up who can get the best players. And I think that the Raptors are at the top of the list. Everyone's calling them. I think we can find some good value here for the future. And it's going to be exciting to see it all unfold. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. It's always appreciated. Leaving the game at a 111 to 104 mark here with under 20 seconds to go. Let's just see what happens. It's Siakam with it. Gets a layup. Let's see if they get a steal here. Maybe it could change things. You can do that. You can jump in bounds. Is that a thing? Is that a thing? Most certainly not. Is that legal? Okay, so the refs are calling it wraps on tonight too. Um, that is ridiculous. What the heck? Okay, guys. Well, thank you so much. Like I said, if you haven't liked the video yet, do me a favor and drop a like. And if you haven't checked out the CoolBet Sportsbook, you can do it in the description of this video. Sign up. Uh, like I said, I say it all the time, but it's honestly such a great sports book. It's got great value and promotions for Canadian teams, including the Raptors, and they've got all those trade markets posted. So if you guys want to put some money down on where you think Raptors players are moving, you can do it on the CoolBet Sportsbook. Check out those odds. When you support CoolBet, you support us. Always, always appreciated. Find that sign up link in the description of this video, and I will see you guys next game.